Right, so about a month ago now, I made a video where I unboxed my first ever PC gaming PC, being the PC specialist. I just smacked it, Flux 300 gaming PC. And since then, a lot of people have put in the comments asking questions. Does it play this? How does it perform this? Is it worth the money? And I thought I'd come back a month later of using it to just give it a small review and talk about whether you should buy it. And all footage you're seeing on screen is all gameplay I recorded using only the PC only, played on there, recorded on there, everything, just so you can get an idea of that. And later on in the video I will be showing you some gameplay of some higher, more demanding games, because people have been asking me, hey, does it play, more demanding games, and I haven't actually tried any yet, so I thought we'd try it out together later as well. But for now, I kind of just want to talk about, is it worth buying? I think the simple answer is, before I get into the nitty gritties of it, if you have the money and you're looking for a gaming PC, there's no reason to look anywhere else, in my opinion. In other words, if you're trying to get a gaming PC and you're looking at this one, just get it. I've had zero issues with it. In the last month having it, it's just, I think it exceeds expectations, really. So in the month of me having this thing, I had zero crashes, zero issues. I would say I've had no bugs, I've had no anything. Honestly, you take the packaging out, you put it on your desktop, you plug it in, put an HDMI cable and all that. It just works out the box, which is great. You do this after you have to do the initial setup. But once you've done that, it just runs. It just goes. It just does everything you need it to straight away. All the drivers are up to date and everything. So out of the box functionality, perfect. It just works. Right now, for a brief rundown of the specs. If you want the full specs, I'll put a link in the description to where you can find that. But it's got a Windows 11. It's an RTX 460 Ti graphics card with 8 gigs of VRAM, 16 gigs of RAM. AMD Ryzen 7 5700X processor. It's got 1 terabyte of storage. It's got a gigabyte B550 Gaming X V2 motherboard, and it's also got a PCS Frostflow 240 Series R ARGB liquid cooler. These words are really long. It has not got a disk drive, so that's one thing to note. It's also not got a memory card reader. It does not come with a mouse or keyboard, so you have to buy those yourself. Now, after mentioning all these specs, as hopefully you can see in both the gameplay and also you'll be able to see later on in the video, I've had almost no trouble running any game I need to, really. No matter what graphics is at, I can usually run it at least 60. I'm not the biggest PC tech guy in the world. I don't really know what half this stuff even means, and all this stuff has been no problem for me. And the cooler and stuff and the fans are really quiet. They don't make a whole lot of noise. If you're just sitting there doing general tasks, whatever, it's fine. But if you are playing a game or something, the fans will kick in. And if you're playing a much higher graphic games, then you will be able to hear the fan, not a lot. And if you have your headphones on, it really won't matter at all. But you can hear it more noticeably then. So I think in terms of the ports, this PC has more than enough of everything you need, which is really good for people like me who do recording and streaming. So you can have all those microphones and cameras plugged in all at the same time. So you got the easy access ones at the front, you got a single USB, you got 2 USB 3.2s, you got a microphone jack on the left and a headphone jack to the right. Take note of that, because I kept putting my headphone in the left one thinking it sounds terrible, realizing that's actually a microphone one, but they don't label it. I don't know why. So 2 headphone jacks, but only the right ones are headphones. And you also got a fan switch, so you can change the color. With left one controls simple colors like red, green, blue, yellow, light blue, pink, white, and back to red again. And then the one on the right has different rainbow functions, and you can see them all here, so you can pick one to your liking. And on the right of that is the power button, which is unfortunately the exact same shape and level as the rest of the fan buttons. So make sure you're actually looking when you're changing the fan color, because a couple of times I've accidentally turned it off when I'm trying to change the fan color, because they literally feel the exact same. And the back of it is too much to go into. There's so many ports on the back. You got the Ethernet cable with a couple of 3.2 USBs on the right. That's where you plug in your capture cards and your VR headset wires for the higher speed stuff. And then at the top above that, it's got the USB 2.0s. It's got 2 of them.
Actually, I need to make a quick correction. All 4 USBs in the back are all USB 3.2s, and then the 2 USB 2.0s are the 2 on the front at the top. And I only just realised I was wrong when I was looking back at the footage. As you can see on the back, they're all labelled as 3.2. My bad. Doesn't really make a difference. Who really cares?
And you've also got a HDMI port, which is unfortunately only one. But don't worry if you want to use 2 monitors like I do. There is 3 display ports to the left of the HDMI cable, and I'll put a link in the description to this. But what you need is a cable that converts display to HDMI, and then you're good to go. I'll put the one description that I use because I know it works. So you should have no problem having 2 monitors. You know, I think, and again, I just think that the port functionality is really good. There's a nice easy access one to the top. There's tons of ports to the back, so you should have no problem whatsoever. Plug in every single thing you need in all at once. And as you can see in the video here, it's got a tempered glass side with a logo along the right, which looks quite nice. I can see all the insides when I'm sitting here. It's got a nice metal grille at the front, and it's got the 2 fans behind it, 2 fans on top and 1 fan at the back. And it's also got a rubbery grille at the top for the 2 fans up there. But apart from that, the rest of the case is just metal. Now this thing is pretty big. It's 48 centimeters height, 20 centimeters width, and 41 centimeters depth. And so it is quite big. It's 12 kilograms, nearly 13. And as you can see, it does take up quite big space on my desk, but it shouldn't really be an issue as long as you have a big desk, or if you put it on the floor, that's also fine. And I would like to quickly mention that all the gameplay I'm showing is in 1080p, and all the stats I'm telling you about is how it plays in 1080p. If you play on something like a 2K monitor or a 4K monitor, the performance will slow down because it's having to do more effort to give you a better image, so the performance won't be as good. Yeah, but enough of that boring stuff though, right? What people really want to know is how well can it run games? And I think you kind of need to go bottom up here. So in terms of, can it run like, what Roblox? Let's start by that. But the bottom bottom barrel here. Well, at max graphics, it can easily go up 180 plus. I don't know. I've always play my games capped at 120, but I believe it can go up to 180 and up. Roblox is, yeah, it'd probably go to 1000 FPS if you need it to, realistically. Obviously, yeah, standard, yeah, old games like Skyrim, Terraria, Lethal Company, any sort of indie games, everything like that, you're talking 180, 120, maybe even more than 180 FPS. All on max graphics, by the way. No problem whatsoever. I've been playing a game called Little Kitty Big City on stream recently. 120, 180 FPS, no problem. Smooth like butter, no stutters, no lag. Max graphics, no issues whatsoever. It is brilliant stuff. Now we're talking mid-range games, things like Fortnite runs about, and high graphics, not ultra, they're near ultra, like very high graphic settings, which is recommended ahead. Around about 60 to 80 FPS on average, but it did stutter quite a bit on like larger areas when it's loading in the game to begin with. Like Battle Royale mode, it does lag quite a bit. No, hang on, let me rephrase it. It doesn't lag quite a bit, but it can stutter on like the way down from the drop. But if you're playing something like a creative map, you can easily get 120 FPS on like ultra graphics if you wanted to. But on Battle Royale, you're looking at about 60-80 high graphics, a few occasional stutters when it's still trying to load in the game on the drop down. But apart from that, you're pretty much solid. I now play it on the PC mainly, over something like console. Paladins, which I've been playing recently, surprised me. I played it on max graphics. It went 120 FPS, no problem. Again, if it was my computer wasn't capped, maybe 180. Don't know. So when it comes to VR games, I haven't played too many. I've played Fallout 4 and Skyrim VR because most of the games I just play on an inbuilt Quest 3 system. But with those 2 games, Fallout, I could play it at max graphics, and the game ran at a smooth it's like 70 frames per second, but that's also because I capped it for whatever. I don't know why I did that, but for some reason I have it capped at 72 frames. You know, at least run 70 frames per second, smooth VR experience. And so something like Fallout 4 does run really quite well, and it looks superb. And of course the footage you're seeing right now doesn't really accurately capture what I was seeing, because for some reason the OBS recordings can get quite laggy sometimes. Like with VR, I don't know why, but in my headset it was really smooth. There was no stuttering. And with Skyrim, they had the graphics on medium, and because I found that Skyrim VR definitely does run worse than Fallout for whatever reason. But as you can see, the game looks fine. It looks like Skyrim, and that also ran at like same frame rate, but with lower graphics on it. And when I did try high graphics, I did find that they'd lag a little bit more. So if you're looking for like the ultimate extremely high graphics every game, 120 frames game VR gameplay, the smoothest thing you can get, the best graphics, this is definitely it. But if you're just looking to play VR experiences that look the same as they would if you just played it on the Quest store, this can do just fine. Because you saw, as I mentioned with Fallout, it can go the maximum graphics at a good frame rate, looking fine. So VR, I think, is pretty good when it comes to this. Now, it may not be the best VR experience in every game because VR is quite demanding, but for games I tried, at least it did pretty well. One of the things people kept asking was, how well does it run some high graphic games? All the games I was playing was they looked alright, but they were not exactly like Cyberpunk level or anything like that. So I thought, you know what, for this video I try out some more high graphic games to see how they run. And so if any of you guys who are looking to play some high graphic games can see, is this the right PC for you, if that's the type of thing you want to be playing. So I've got 3 different games I want to try out. First one being Halo Infinite. So, and this one's free. It's the latest edition in the Halo series, so I assume it's going to be pretty good graphics. The specs are relatively high. Now right now it's on medium settings, which is 60 FPS. I briefly tried it earlier, and the default was low settings, and that ran about 90 FPS. And I tried running it on ultra just a second ago, and the game wouldn't really even load. It took about 20 minutes to load, and even then the game was just not working, so I had to put it down to medium. So I'm gonna hop into a training match here against some bots, because I don't really fancy playing against real people, and we'll see how the game runs on medium graphics. Alright, so change of plan. I've had to go into the training mode because the servers are cooked, and also no one's playing the game. I didn't realize this game was that dead. There's like, the only server that's currently got any players on it is Walmart Deathmatch. I don't know that was even a thing. So again, this is medium graphics. You could not, if you told me this was medium graphics, I wouldn't believe you. I mean, it looks pretty good. This looks like high graphics to me, but okay. So this is medium graphics, currently running at it's currently maxed at 60. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh no, it's maxed at 20. It's actually 120 FPS. I just changed the setting. It was kept at 60 for some reason. So if the game's currently running at 120 at medium, it can probably do a lot better than that. But for some reason, when I tried any high setting, the game just wouldn't run. It just wouldn't load the main menu. So I don't know what that's about. But hey, I mean, medium looks good enough for me. 120 FPS, medium graphics, it looks fine. So yeah, it can run a higher spec game if you need it to. Time for a better gunplay. That aim is pretty huge. What's up by that? I mean, your boy's naturally skilled on sticks, ain't gonna lie.
Let's try a different weapon.
Maybe we should. Okay, there's no bullets in any of these guns. You wanna die anytime soon, fella? What's this? Slick, gorgeous, smashing stuff.
Now for grenade.
I'm attracted to an actual match here. Well, not an actual match, but like a training exercise. What a scummy, innit? Excuse me. Shut up. I wasn't sure if that's actually my teammate or not because he wasn't shooting back. Why am I using the pistol again? Hey! Right, that's the tutorial done then. Game actually seems pretty good. I actually quite enjoyed that. The gunplay seems nice, but that's not what we're here for. The game does seem to run really well. I mean, it's my computer itself actually is capped at 120 in the settings. So if I uncapped it, hang on. I mean, it's, the HUD alone says 180. So maybe it could go up to 180. I don't know. Even on Ultra, it could go up to, you could maybe play it like a 60. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You can at least see that the game does look good anyway. And if you want to play this game, it does run at 120 FPS, at least a medium. And here's the next game I wanted to show off. I did actually just replay it, but I forgot to record it, so I'll try it again. Here's the next game, Throwing Liberty. I don't know what this is either. It came out this month, I think, so it's brand new. The graphics will look pretty damn good.
Not supported.
From what I tried earlier, anyway, it looked really good. And the reason I did try it earlier was so that I could just get the ball running, so it means I can just record it. And as you can see, I didn't need to cut it right there because it loaded in. It's super quick. Brand new game. All on what we on right now actually. I mean, the graphics are on 180 vertical sync, as we're on max as well. It says recommended high. I don't know why. I'm currently on Epic. It's running about 80 FPS. No stutters or anything. The textures look good. The lighting's great. And can you not? I'm not a jump, mate. But even in like a denser area like this, it's still around 70, 80. Like, and over here, 90. Down near 100, in fact. I mean, yeah. I don't want to show you much of this. Just want to, you know, as you can see, good-looking game, max graphics, over 100 FPS right now. I mean, what more could you want from a computer, really? Unless you want constant. Oh, I should mention this is all at 1080p, not 2K, not 4K. Okay, that's when things do get like a bit. That's when it does probably start to struggle. I don't know. I haven't tried it on those graphics because I don't have a 2K monitor. But at 1080p, these high quality games will run at high FPSs, high graphics. For anyone asking, will these games run on this computer? Yeah, I mean, probably the highest graphic game you can get at the moment is probably something like Cyberpunk or the new Call of Duty, but I don't want to pay for them because I don't want to play Call of Duty, and I've already got Cyberpunk on Xbox, so I don't want to buy it on here as well. Especially not for the sake of a video. But I do have one more game I want to show you, which is probably the most straining game I have played yet. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. The last game I want to show you is actually Skyrim, and you might be thinking, how on earth is this the most demanding game?
So noisy here.
Because
I'm not used to living in such noise.
This one is honored by your friendship.
shut up. This is modded with the Novus mod pack. Look it up if you don't know what it is. It's actually a mod pack of 2,000 plus mods, plus some that I've added myself, that completely overhaul the game in every way about it, including the graphics and the lighting and everything. And as you can see,
Tall structures.
as you can see, and the game's running about 30, 40 FPS at the moment on ultra graphics and everything, with 4K textures and everything like that. And this is usually, it runs better outdoors actually than indoors. And there's a dragon, I think. No, that's a bird. Okay. Again, the performance can vary, and this is actually one I've been playing quite a lot myself recently. The lighting is superb. I only think when this game is fully modded, it is one of the best looking games you can get, in my opinion. This is the most demanding thing I've tried, and technically my computer is actually underpowered for this. It doesn't meet the required specs that the mod guy who made the mod pack said it should be at. Despite my computer being underpowered technically, I still think the game looks good, in my opinion anyway. And it runs at like 50 FPS on ultra. And then right here I've gone to one of the more demanding areas of the game, which is Whiterun. Still about 40, which is surprising with the amount of stuff that's going on there. It does stutter a little bit around Whiterun. But Whiterun's the only area ever does that. So, and the reason I bring up this game is because every single time people are asking me, does it run this game, does it run that game, or how well does it run high graphic games? I always kind of revert to this because the only thing I actually play that actually uses high graphics, and I tell them the same thing. It runs about 40 to 60 FPS on like max graphics, which it does. So yeah, if you're wanting to run a giant modded Skyrim, I guess, which is overhauled with graphics and stuff, and you can. I mean, I do every day. I mean, once you got it sorted out, it works and it's fun and it's cool. But I mean, you gotta admit, at least it's pretty, right? I might carry a stumbling fall from a broken leg or something. But like, scenery. I'm not gonna sit here glazing over this for 10 years because this isn't the point. But it can show you what it can run. There's a lot of objects here. So I mean, yeah, I mean, so there's not much more to say really about anything. So in conclusion, I just think this is the right PC for anyone really. I mean, I've been looking at this PC for a while, and it's just I think it's probably the best decision I've ever purchased really. I mean, I couldn't really ask for any better. It's got great functionality on the exterior. It looks good. Like it's got a nice glass panel on the side and everything. It's got tons of different ports. Very useful for streaming as well. But yeah, it can run about any game, max graphics, good FPS. Yeah, that's all people really came here for, really, isn't it? I mean, sure, it can get all the functionality you want. It can edit videos really well on it too. Guess what I do? Better than anything I have before anyway. It's just why I think just the demonstration of the games I showed alone is enough reason. You know, if I was looking for a PC and I thought, should I get this? And people I saw that gameplay, I think, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to go from this review of a consumer perspective. I'm not talking about all the specs and all that. I've already done that in a different video. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about review in terms, a small little review in terms of, is this what? Can it run the things I want it to? The answer is probably yes. Let's be honest. And if not, just turn the graphics down a little bit. Best purchase of my life. Don't regret it. Yeah, I highly encourage you to buy it as well. If you are looking for one, don't just go buy it because I told you to. But I mean, if you're looking to buy a PC and you've been eyeballing this one, why not? And also, probably didn't show. I don't know. If you have any questions, let me know. I usually I answered all of them on the last video, and I still am answering them. So, if you have any questions, just ask. I know I probably glazed it a bit, but it is nothing. It's a glazable thing. All right. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.